June 3rd, 2014. Guys, the filament's still hanging from the bottom left corner of the flare this morning. Now, you also, just to the top right of that, across the center of the sun, we've had an M1 flare. It's not a strong flare, but it's an indication that activity's picking up, and you can notice that that active group is moving around. That sunspot can be very dangerous to that long filament if they touch. You saw in the video yesterday. Now, space weather was, as the reports were coming out, at that time it was not sure if a coronal mass ejection was associated with a flare, but it does look like we've had some. If you see these last few images from SOHO, these are also Earth-facing. We'll look at it on stereo A, which is not an Earth-facing. It's ahead of Earth in orbit. And you can see upward blast and down there. So there is some coronal mass ejection, and you saw a spike in the protons on one of the satellites from the ACE group. You can see the flare better going back to an Earth-facing image there. But this is you can see the gaseous tail of this filament drooping down there. Again, if they make contact, that's going to throw that thing out. Now, quickly on the radiation at Shell Beach at Diablo Canyon Nuclear Plant, 145. Remember the other day in the readings, 136, went up to 141 right in there. That is still elevated, and they're supposed to be getting people in there to check it. But it started back here on this date, right at the 26, guys, as it pulls up, and it's continued to elevate. I've seen some back and forth emails from some of the members of the radiation network, and they're supposed to be checking some equipment and sending someone else in there to see it, but it is very elevated and they're watching it. But guys in the radiation network, you members, be very concerned about exactly who is controlling the situation. That's all I can say. I read about 30 emails back and forth. I'm not going to say any names or point any fingers, but listen, one of the emails out of about 30 in the correspondence about this event was that your main handler was not concerned or did not even really think that the problems in the Pacific Ocean had anything to do with the Fukushima radiation. Big flag, guys, just a heads up on that. Think about it. One of the few, maybe two in the world that you have access to radiation networks. Do you think they're not going to be handled when they're trying to cover up the Fukushima? Just a heads up on it, guys. The show starts in about 30 minutes on blogtalk/bpearthwatch.com. We're going to be talking about Pentecost. Heads up.